Okay, in this section we're going to talk about sales tax and how to run through that process of recording and paying your sales tax. So over here in the tax center, when you click on this button, you are going to originally we went through in the setup, it's going to show you that you set up your connection with your state sales taxing agency, or the agency that's responsible for sales tax. And we have two set up here, one for Kansas, one for Georgia. And then from here, it's also going to have a range of dates that you can select from. Normally this is going to coincide with your monthly or your quarterly return. And again, that's taken care of during the setup. So let's backtrack a little bit and go back to see how this is generated. So on the invoices, when you set up your sales tax, so we set this up and we created a rent invoice that goes out, and this is only for those folks that have to collect sales tax on their rent. If you don't have that requirement, then you can certainly watch this section, but feel free to bypass this section because this lesson is only going to be dealing with the sales tax side of things. So anyway, when you set up the rent invoice, you're going to set it up. You're going to have your rent here, and then of course you have this column as taxable. And this one, since we have set this item up specifically for this property, we marked it taxable there, so this goes by default. And then it calculates the sales tax that is owed for this rent for this period. So what happens then is you are going to go into, typically you're going to go in, you're going to sign into the state of Kansas's Department of Revenue section for sales tax. You're going to have your account number and you are going to file a return. So what you will see here is that during this period, this is April. Let's see if we can isolate this. There we go. Let's say we're filing for April of 2020. And then, so we see in April of 2020, we collected $136.79. You can select the return here. And then you're going to go to your state's website, which looks like there's a link here. And then you will pay. Usually that's an ACH payment, and you're going to enter in the amount. They're going to ask you for what your gross sales were, what your taxable sales were, and some information. That information is here, and then it should calculate a tax due, which if everything lines up correctly, it should come out to $136.79. Now, if it doesn't come out to $136.79, you can make an adjustment here up or down and take care of that issue, but you're probably going to figure out if you have something wrong with your setup, because it should come out the same. And then you're going to pay them online, and then once you pay them online, all you do is select record payment, and it's going to take you to this new screen. And then you have your tax payment that you made, the payment date that you made it, and then the bank account that you're paying out of. And then you can have a print check if you're going to send that out, or if it's ACH, then you don't have to worry about printing the check. Then you're going to record your payment. And then it says return paid. And that's it. You're done for the month. And then when you come back into the screen for this period, you're going to be able to see that this was paid. It's no longer overdue. So and then that's nice. You go in here and it'll tell you what your payment details were for that period as well. So let's take a look at the balance sheet here real quick. Okay, so what we have down here is the Department of Revenue liability account. This is basically your sales tax payable. So what happens is when you collect sales tax on that rental invoice, this amount increases. So for, like that one we collected $160, if we created a new invoice for October and collected another $160, this amount would increase. When you go in and you pay your sales tax with that method, what that does is it creates the entry that, one, takes the money out of your account to pay it, but then two, reduces your liability count here on the Department of Revenue, so that at any given time you can look here and see how much you owe in sales tax. And if we dig into that ledger, it just kind of goes to show here, these are all the transactions, the transactions I've done, for demonstration purposes. But as you can see here, down on September 17th, we have a sales tax payment. So this is all the sales tax we collected. And each time we collected that sales tax, it increased the balance. And then when we went to make a return, we paid out $136.79 for that period, and it reduced the balance. So everything is working the way that it should be. And now you know exactly how much you owe the state for your sales tax collections. And then if they ever come and audit or want to audit, this is the some of the records you're going to be able to show them. You're going to have your online stuff, and if you need to research it, you compare online to what is listed here and see where the variances are. So that's a helpful tool. Okay, that's what we have for sales tax. In the next section, we're going to talk about account reconciliations.